Good morning all. In the previous lecture, we talked about Bloom's taxonomy and cognitive domain in details. In this lecture, we'll be talking about the affective domain. Affective domain is also known as the Cathwool's taxonomy, and it includes the manner in which we deal with the things emotionally, that is related to feelings, enthusiasm, interest, values. And this domain is further divided into 5 levels, starting from the initial level, which is receiving. Receiving is the basic level, and no learning can take place without this level. Here, the learner is sensitized towards the stimuli. And not only this, the willingness of the learner is required. Without the willingness of the learner, no learning can take place. This receival of information cannot go further. So what things we have to keep in mind while formulating the objectives at this level is that the learner should be willing to accept the knowledge, and not only this, but the efforts should be made to control that attention. Then we move to the next level, which is a higher order level after receiving, that is responding. Once the stimuli is provided to the child, the teacher expects some response from the student. What kind of response we are talking about? Whenever a class is taking place, the child responds by writing, by reading, by observing, by answering, or any other activity which is done in the class. So this response occurs only when the child actively participates in the classroom process. So it is important that the child, with his desire, takes part in the learning process. And after this, we move to the next level, which is value. We just have a look at the slide here. First level is receiving, we have already talked about. Then responding. The next is valuing. What is valuing? Here the learner is expected to imbibe a definite value pattern. Towards what? Towards different ideas, events and objects. This indicates the motivation of behavior, not by deliberate desire as we talked in responding, but by individual's commitment. So we can see that, or we can say that this objective may be conveniently called as attitude. The next level above this is the organization or organizing. It's system of values or attitudes. Now this level, here the individual's behavior is not motivated by a single attitude, but by the complex combination of attitudes. It leads the learner to form a set value structure, or we can say it leads to develop a philosophy of life. Then is the characterization. What is characterization? Characterization is that whatever has been learned has been taken by the learner and is accepted by the learner and becomes a part of his life, becomes his habitual pattern. So that is characterization. So you see, when we formulate these objectives and make them in this order, we achieve the highest goal, the ultimate goal of the educational process. The next domain is the psychomotor domain, which is also known as Dave's taxonomy. This taxonomy deals with the neuromuscular coordination. So as we move higher in coordination, the actions become more refined in speed and automation, right? So again we can see that this domain has 5 levels, starting from the imitation, then manipulation, precision, articulation and naturalization. So when we talk about the first level, which is the imitation, this imitation comes as an impulse or an inner push. This is related to the following of directions and copying the action. So it is the art of copying or imitating. Then comes the next step, which is manipulation. Just have a look at this. Here, the next one is manipulation. So what is manipulation? Actions are performed through memorization or following directions. This is the next higher level of psychomotor behavior. So it involves follow-up of directions and selecting certain actions in preference to the others. So here what students are doing? Students develop the manipulation skill, that is ability to perform according to the instructions. Then you can see is the next level, which is precision. What is precision? Performance becomes more exact and actions are more precise. So here the reproduction of operations. What operations? The learning is carried out with speed and refinement. It helps to give the learner the ability to control his or her actions according to the requirement. So, the child or the learner develops the ability to perform the complex task at this stage. Then comes the articulation. What is articulation now? Articulation here is the ability to develop things in sequence and harmony. So the child develops the ability to do things in a more precise way, in a more particular way, in a sequence way, in harmony to each other. That means doing the right thing at the right moment, or following the right sequence at the right moment. That is articulation. Then comes the final or the higher most level of this domain, that is psychomotor domain, which is naturalization. Naturalization means becoming something natural. How does this take place? When some actions are performed again and again and done with precision and accuracy, and then they are articulated, they become effortless. So those efforts, those habits which are automated, becomes routine. So the learner displays the behavior which becomes mechanical, which without any conscious thinking. So we can say these are the reflex actions, or becomes the second behavior of the learner. So you see how these objectives help the learner to develop, grow and learn. So it is very important to keep all these points in our mind, so that the ultimate aim or goal of education is achieved. Thank you. We'll meet in the next lecture. Till then, bye.